Hello. So I finally get it, and I've been living by this ever since I did get it, but I wanted to make a video on it because I wanted to help other people with the subject and hopefully explain it in the best way possible. So what did I finally get? That your world is a reflection of who you are or who you're being. It's quite literally just you pushed out. And I never really understood, well, how do you be like a different version so that the version that's pushed out is what you want? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, a lot of people might think money, people might think an SP, whatever it might be, but how do you just be? And I was watching N's video on manifestation. I will link her in the description because it's just a great video. But basically, she talks about self talk. Self talk is literally who you are. How do you talk about specific situations, right? How do you talk about hockey? How do you, are you playing hockey? How do you talk about your job? How do you talk about your significant other? How do you talk about how you look? You'll find that it is exactly what you see outside. And whether you might believe that, oh, it was that way first and that's why I'm saying this about it, sure, you could say that. But what if you changed what you were saying about it because it truly was different? So the idea is to change yourself. Choose a different version of yourself because you can. Let's say I choose to be the version of myself that looks amazing, right? Okay, now nothing else matters except the fact that I am that person. So what should my thoughts be? If I am the version of myself that looks amazing, what are my thoughts about myself when I look in the mirror? They should be that, wow, you look amazing. You look great. You look so fine. I love that look on you. X, Y, and Z, right? It shouldn't be anything less because if it's anything different than that, then that means you've chosen to be something else. If you chose to be beautiful, let's say, and you go in the mirror and say you're ugly, you do realize that means you've just chosen to be the version of yourself that is ugly. Your self-talk is exactly who you are. It's exactly like if you look at how you're talking about a situation, you will know who you're choosing to be. And it's that simple. And so I would imagine a person, let's say, and this is why actually, this is actually an even better example. Have you ever seen those videos where a person is like makes a ton of money and they're like starting from zero and then they are like, this is how I would make $50,000 again? Do you want to know why it works for that person? Because they're not actually poor. In their mind they know they're rich. In their mind they know how to stay calm, how to do business basically. You know what I mean? It's nothing new to them. They know who they are. And just because the situation around them changed, just because their bank account says zero, they still know they're rich. They still know who they are, and that's why they make the money back so fast. It's because of who they are. So look at yourself now. Imagine you are, let's say you want to be like an amazing artist, right? It's like artist starting from zero. Your surroundings have changed, but you're still the same artist. You can still make what? The best art in the world. You can still, draw perfectly. You can still write or write music perfectly. You're still that person. Your music or your artwork is still gonna sell for millions of dollars because that's who you are at the end of the day. You still make that type of art. It never changed. Who you were never changed. Just the situation around you. So isn't that crazy that the situation is going to change? But if you remain the same, it's going to change to reflect you. That's what it does. That's how the world works. Isn't that crazy? I feel like that's so cool. So imagine now, for myself, right? I know. I'm the best YouTuber. I know I have a specific amount of subscribers, right? That's just the truth. So, what do I know then? That every single video I make is perfect. That every single decision I make regarding my YouTube channel is perfect. Why? Because I'm that person. I could care less about what the world looks like. I'm that person. That's how manifestation works. That's how you just be. You have to choose. You have to make the decision. Because you've been making the decision for every other thing. You've been looking at the outside world and saying, "Oh, my decision is that that's right." And the outside world is like, "Oh, really? Sure. Well, okay, sure. Let's keep giving her that or keep giving him that." Because he decided to agree with me. But really, it's only going to reflect whatever you say is true. And everything, your body, if you listen to my previous video, your body will obey that. The world around you will obey that because you are God. You are source. You are the source. Okay? You are the the energy source. Like, I'm thinking of Eric. He's another YouTuber, but I'm thinking of his example where he's like, the world is basically the artist and you are the model. If you change your stance or your let's say your position while modeling, the artist is going to have to change their art to match you. And that's how the world works. It's an unending, forever going project of drawing the model. So what is the position you're in right now? You as the model, what are you telling the artist to draw right now with your thoughts, with your words? Are you telling them to draw perfection? Are you telling them to draw wealth? Are you telling them to draw um, success? Or are you telling them to draw whatever they want to draw, which is still going to be whatever you're saying? Are you telling them to draw lack? Okay? Are you telling them to draw the fact that you are in the dumps? What are you telling them to draw with your thoughts? Okay? And I want to go back to that thought of like somebody might be like, well, look at, um, well, I'm only saying this because my situation looks like this, right? Was there light before God said, let there be light? No. God had to say it first. So now we know automatically what came first. It was the thought. The creator, like, the creator had to make the decision, bruv, to draw that thing before it could be drawn. It's just not how that, like, you know what I mean? There's no art if there's nothing to draw off of. Okay? And for anybody that worries or stresses, well, what about my feelings? Your feelings don't matter. There are a ton of rich people out there who are depressed, so we know feelings don't matter. You could be depressed all you want. That rich person still knows they're rich, by the way. That's the craziest thing. This is just how crazy the world will reflect you. How, to a T, the world will reflect you. I'm depressed, but man, I have a million followers. I'm depressed, but I'm still a millionaire. Okay? And I was also thinking of this other argument, right? Like, imagine somebody's like, well, this person keeps calling themselves ugly, but we all think that person's pretty, right? Maybe you do think that person's pretty. Sure, let's say that. But that person thinks they're ugly. So every time they look in the mirror, they see ugly, bro. They don't see pretty, they see ugly. Do you want to be that person? So even that argument it couldn't even stand. Because who cares if the world is calling that person pretty if when they look in the mirror they're unhappy? And they will only end up happy until they can say, yeah, I am pretty. That's the only time they'll be happy. So that's how the world will reflect you to a T, reflects your thoughts to a T. Okay? And let's say a billionaire, let's say a millionaire. That millionaire be like, I'm so poor compared to these billionaires, but they still know they have $1 million. So the world is still reflecting them. Will they ever reach that billion? No, because they're saying they will never reach that. But do they have $1 million? Yeah, yeah, they do. So what can we take away from this, bro? Change who you are. And you change who you are by changing the way you're thinking, bro. Like that's it. Be the person by quite literally having the thoughts that that person has. Have the thoughts that the version of you is having, and the feelings will come along and the actions will come along. It's the thoughts that are there first, okay? I don't know about you, but when I'm, let's say, in a bad mood, it's quite difficult for me to even act like I'm in a bad mood unless I really describe the fact that I am. Unless I assign meaning to how I'm feeling, I most likely won't act like I'm in a bad mood. That action or the actions won't continue because I never gave it meaning. I never said, "Yep, Milan's in a bad mood," so that Milan could act like she was in a bad mood. You know? I know this video made sense and I'm so excited to post it because I know it's going to help a ton of people. But I know it's an amazing video. I know that for a fact. So I'm really happy about that. But I will not forget to tag or to also link N's video because it helped me. And if this explanation, if you still want more videos after this, that's fine. I wish I could draw it out, bro, because it would, I mean, I wish I could like transfer the thought to you in like how I see it because it's so cool. It's so interesting, but I'm so excited to make more videos. That's exciting for me, and I'm excited for life. Life is just so fun. Like, since I'm literally just like, I know who I am, I can't help but be like, life is fun. I can't help but say life is amazing because I chose for it to be. Like, that's the craziest part. And you can choose too, so I just choose. If you need any help, please don't be afraid to comment. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to comment because I will answer. But I hope you're having a good day. I'm having an amazing day, and we'll be having a great day together, bro. I really had to change my outro because I'm cringing. So, peace.